Another day, another site.
Yes.
Where are we today, Mazzy?
Bolling Hall?
Bolling Hall Museum. That's how it's spelt. Museum and library. When I came as a kid, I can't remember a library. This is one of the oldest houses in Bradford. Yeah. Built in the 1000s or something.
Oh, wow.
Really old.
Wow.
What have I got to tell? Oh yeah, it's one of the most haunted places in England as well.
Oh, is it?
Most Haunted have done a programme here where Derek Okora lied.
Yeah.
And yeah, some really fascinating stories to do with ghosts.
Oh, I'm gonna love this.
Some of the rooms in here look ancient. Really, it's fantastic. From what I remember as a kid, it's fantastic. So let's get inside and have a look.
Yes.
So we're just going around to the entrance, and there's a well there which goes way down. And here, a bricked up doorway from 1681, I think it says. But the building is a lot big. Well, they kept rebuilding it, and you know how buildings work. They disappear, they add bits, they knock it down, they build it again. But there has been a Bolling Hall here since 1086 because it was in the Domesday Book. So this is a guy who just comes here and takes pictures.
He's very spiritual. And he says he sees a mist first, a shape or something. Now this one, he says, was a lady sat on the wall down there, and she had the hat on.
Oh yeah, I can
and
see
when
that.
she saw him taking a photo, she threw the hat at him.
Wow, so that's a hat. Wow.
That's what he said, yeah.
Oh.
I thought that were a jellyfish. It is amazing. Like that to me looks like a knight.
Yeah, well that
Definitely.
is the latest one he's brought in. He brought that in a couple of weeks ago.
Right. And then you've definitely got like a lady up there.
No, I think that looks like the devil with horns, actually.
I'm not seeing a devil as such. I know what you mean, I can see the horns. Then we've got like a little girl, I'd say. Fairy girl. And the staff said this is one of the first it did. Yeah. And as soon as they saw this picture, they said that's Caroline Lindley, which is this lady who used to live here in the 1600s.
And you've got this face down there, look.
Is it sideways? Or am I seeing something else?
You're seeing something else, I think.
Okay. That looks like a horse. That's like a horse's head, is that?
No.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Do you think we're going to see anything like that, Mazzy?
I hope so. I feel like I just want to keep the camera on all the time now in case we capture something.
Go for it. A door here from Bradford prison.
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful, isn't it?
I wonder how many of my family's been scratching on that over the years. Strange beeping in the background there.
Just stopped.
Look at this helmet. Early medieval helmet from 1066. This is the front kitchen. And this is a spit jack. Do you know what a spit jack is?
I have no idea.
It would work like clockwork and it would turn you roast.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so cool.
Look at these really old helmets here. From the Civil War, they look like 1600s. I think a lot of the things in here are from the 1600s. This clock is. It's etched on there, look.
Oh.
Small children only. I wanted to try that on.
Oh, try the helmet on.
Yeah, small children only.
Go on.
I'm gonna fall.
You're a small adult. Oh, wow. You look so cool. Do you feel important?
I feel like I've caught a lot of germs. Inside the parlour. I was just reading this and it's saying the people who lived here, Mazzy, the owners, they were never super rich.
Oh, really?
So they had to pretend to be rich and make furniture which looked expensive but wasn't.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm not believing that for a second. Living in a house like this and you're not super rich. You're richer than us. Like the main hall it looks like, Mazzy. Lovely balcony up there. And check out this helmet, the detail on that. Wow. And behind it, even better, look at the shield. So the lady on the desk at the front was telling us that she could smell flowers.
Yeah.
And apparently it's to do with the woman who owned this house in the 1600s. They think it might be the smell of the ghost. So you have walked in here and you've said what?
Oh, it smells a bit floral.
All I can smell is musty. Quite eerie in here, really. I think it's just the way the curtains are down. The blinds. Nice harp. The Georgian dining room. I don't know, I feel like every room feels a bit eerie. Chippendale table. He looks bad. He looks like he's got a chip on his shoulder. So if these are the people who owned Bolling Hall, well, I'm sorry, but they look super rich to me. Do you like the bed?
Strange kind of way, I do, yeah.
I'm getting a right, I don't know, like a feeling in every single room. It's weird.
Are you getting that as well?
Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
Couch bed. That's from 1769. Tall boy, 1760. I think you've got a clothes press as well from 1764. No one's interested, are they? They're not listening to me. Chamber horse. What's a chamber horse? A special kind of chair. Because of the motion made as you sat on it was similar to that of a trotting horse. It was used as a method to take exercise when the weather did not permit you to ride out on your horseback. It's a fake horse. It's a horse chair.
That's weird.
I think that's the ugliest painting of a child I've ever seen in my life. Would you agree?
Yeah.
It's a child with two snakes, one in each hand, strangling them. And that is one ugly child. So we're in the nursery, all set out in Georgian, 1714 to 1837. But look at the stuff in here, it's amazing. And that doll's house, look at that doll's house.
It's all creepy, isn't
I don't know how many museums we have to go in and see this.
it? Yeah.
Cromwell's death mask. It's in every museum we're going. Some very old keys here. Looking very nice, and some very nice silver coins. But over here, look, you've got a tinderbox, Mazzy.
Yeah.
And I really like what it says, the first line. The tinderbox is made of tin. Okay. Wow, what a surprise. A big cabinet full of cannonballs, look at them. They'll all be from the English Civil War. So all this area was big for... although found on the battlefield in the 1890s. The battlefield they're talking about, and I've got a model of it over here. The English Civil War, that was the date. And you had all the parliamentarians on this side and the royalists on the other side having a big fight on the moor just near here. And there is a story about the Civil War and a ghost.
What, here?
Yes.
Oh, tell me.
Okay then. Well, you know when people used to stink? Because they did. People only used to have a bath maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
So you can imagine, they were stunk.
Yeah.
And women used to carry one of these around, look, this thing in the middle. It's called a pomander, and it's oranges dried with cloves and sweet spices acted as a perfume to disguise the bad streets in the streets. Bad smells in the streets, so it was the streets will have stunk as well as the people.
So is that because the street stunk, so then she'd smell that every now and
Yeah.
again?
If you can imagine walking down a really stinky street,
Yeah.
you'd have that over your nose, wouldn't you, as you're walking along?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
They're evil. Cockspurs, apparently. In cockfighting, they used to stick these to the birds' legs to cause more damage.
Oh my gosh.
You've got some really old shoes there, 1500. They're very nice. Wooden patterns. These things on the bottom of the shoes, it was to stop you having to walk in all the slime on the streets, it says. All the mud and slime. So I don't know the full story, okay? But it's part of the Civil War. One guy who was like in charge of one side slept here for the night, right? Slept in this bed, this exact bed, right there. Before he went to bed, because back in them days there were only about 3,000 people living in Bradford. It was a smaller place in the 1600s. Just before he went to bed, he says, right, get all your horses ready for the morning. We're going to attack Bradford. I want you to just kill everyone in Bradford, basically. And in the night, he was asleep in this bed. Something pulled his cover off.
Oh my gosh.
And he looked up and there was like a woman there saying, I can't remember the words she was supposed to have said, but it was something like, please spare Bradford. And he absolutely, his pants. So, in the morning, he got up, he says, right, forget that. Still attack Bradford, but don't kill them, just capture them. So instead of all 3,000 people dying, apparently only 10 people died.
Oh.
And it's all because of what happened in this room and the ghost. That Bradford is still Bradford as it is today, because if it wasn't, it'd have been wiped out.
That's interesting.
Come on, Mazzy, why isn't there a glass window there?
Where?
In the window.
I thought they just covered it up. I don't know.
No. Apparently they couldn't afford glass in them days.
Oh, really?
So they'd just make a wooden frame and put a piece of cloth over it to stop the drafts coming in.
Oh, that's interesting.
Check out all these here.
Oh, wow. Look at this one, babe.
The Great Helm, 1370.
Wow.
These window frames are incredible. Check out the design on the back of this bed. The work what's gone into that.
It's quite creepy though. Would you really want to wake up looking at it?
What, a ghost?
No.
Or the bed?
Yeah, the bed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I could give it a go.
How did we miss this?
I don't know, we missed a floor somehow. Now, do you know the story I was telling you about the Civil War and the ghost
Yeah.
pulling the thing off?
Yeah.
I got the wrong bed. This is the ghost room. Ghost of Bolling Hall. Show them that and then they can read through it if they want to read it. Yeah, they've put a sword on the bed. So, you know, this is the scary Civil War ghost woman.
Can you smell roses though? I'm being serious.
No, I can't smell any roses. So that was Bolling Hall. It did feel, I will be honest, I did have certain like eerie feelings when I was in some of them rooms. It were like an oppressing feeling, is that a word?
Yeah? If that's how you felt?
I think it was just the lighting, personally, and the very old furniture. It just made you feel a bit weird. Ghost-wise, no, there's no such thing as ghosts.
I'll check my photos later.
But Mazzy's taken about 400 photos, so you never know. What did you think of Bolling Hall?
Very good, considering it was free. Very good. Smaller than what I...
Much smaller than I thought as well.
Not only that I expected, but it looks bigger on the outside,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It was really small. It didn't take us long to get round there at all, but yeah, I'm glad we came. Bolling Hall. So thank you for watching yet again, people. Don't know where we're heading next. Gonna find a lay-by tonight, I'm afraid, or a reservoir or something. Just park up. And we'll hit the road again tomorrow. So see you all very soon. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.